Was he actually a pedophile, or was it just allegations? I mean, come on.
I thought he was convicted.
No.
Is it really that
he was
big
not
of a
convicted.
thing?
So legally, no. Like, he was not convicted of this, as far as I know.
But illegally, yes.
Illegal. I think it was just that, like... But also, weren't, like, some of the people who, like, tried to get, you know, to entrap him or whatever you'd call it, like, tried to be like, yeah, I'm 13, or whatever it was. Didn't something come out really bad about some of those people?
Yeah,
Because
well...
I remember there being similar allegations against those people.
Right. Yeah, there was at least one of them, I think, that ended up being one. But I also don't know.
You're supposed to be the expert.
I'm sorry. I'm not the EDP 445 expert here.
Okay. Well, what are you good for?
Oh, maybe his name stands for Electronic Dance Pedophile.
I'm sure that's it.
I want to know, is this guy in jail or what?
No, I don't think so. I think he just got banned off a lot of platforms.
Oh.
Yeah.
I can't believe they can ban you off a platform for a rumor that you touched a kid.
It's not even a rumor. It was, like, caught on tape that he went to meet with these people who pretended to be young, and then it was, like, they weren't really.
Oh.
But it was like a trap. Like, it's a trap.
Chris Hansen?
It's a trap!
It's like amateur Chris Hansen, but if Chris Hansen was also secretly doing the same thing. I'm here to meet with another one down the street, but that's not the point. We caught you.
What if Chris Hansen was just secretly catching people so he could get the pedophiles off the street, so there could be more for him?
Oh, that makes sense.
That does make sense.
It's like a really in-depth strategy, though.
So it looks like he is not... So he's just out. He's free.
Yeah, because...
Like nothing ever happened to him.
Well, because when you do stuff like that, when you do these entrapment scheme type things, they legally can get away with it.
Yeah.
Like almost every time.
Basically, they say it's not... The investigation was not done through proper channels.
Yeah, or by
a judge
the police.
pretty much is forced to dismiss the case as long... Yeah. So yeah, because basically they, like, illegally got this evidence.
So could he theoretically be out there right now touching kids, but because there was no evidence, he's not going to jail?
Well, yeah, but theoretically Nate could go do the same thing, or you could go do the same thing, or anyone could go do the same thing. Like, there's nothing to stop you. There's just consequences.
Well, I'm just saying, allegedly, he seems a little bit more likely.
Well, right, I get what you're saying, but you can't just throw someone in jail when there's no proof, like, when you don't actually get that proof through.
But why don't they just do an investigation?
Probably because when you are such a dumbass that you mess up an investigation like that, the person who you are investigating is going to be way smarter about it. Like, remember all the serial killers that the police started to catch on to, and then all of a sudden the killings stopped?
Yeah.
Or moved?
Right.
Yeah, I wonder why. Because the police were getting close and it was being publicized to, like, everyone. So then the killer is like, oh, well, I'm going to get caught.
Right.
So then they stop, or they move, or you know what I mean? Or they take a break.
Well, that's why I don't really like a lot of the
internet sleuth people?
Yeah, the internet sleuth people, or the media even sometimes, too. Because a lot of times, you know, it'd be, like, well, for example, in war, right? There's a lot of times, at least in American history, where, you know, like during the Vietnam War and stuff like that, where the news media in America were just like, I just got word that America is gonna bomb this exact town right tomorrow at 10! And then it's like, oh, surprise, the enemy's not there.
Right.
And it's like, well, yeah, of course. Like,
right.
Because you're announcing to the world what you're doing. Like, how dumb are you?
Very. The news media has been very dumb for a very long time.
I know.
There's a reason
like,
no one trusts them.
Oh, well, it's all in the sake of transparent. Yeah, you can be transparent, but also not dumb. Like, what's wrong with reporting the news after it happens?
I don't know.
There's
to,
a
like,
word for people like
let
that.
people in war do their thing, you know? But it's the same thing with, like, these people. It's like, you know, if the cops or something are trying to do an investigation, some media member's like, the cops are investigating John Smith for pedophilia, and then John Smith's like, okay, well, I guess I'll be careful now.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying is, like, that's usually what happens with these cases. That's why they're pointless.
Right.
There are people, like, there are ways to work with law enforcement on it.
Yeah.
Like, there are ways to say, hey, you know, I'm pretty sure that this person is doing this, and also, I reached out to them and said, hey, I'm 12, and they said, oh boy, give me that 12-year-old address or whatever. And then the police will be like, okay, thanks, here, send us like that information, the screenshots, and we'll take it from here.
Yeah, and then they continue the investigation. Or
there's even like watchdog groups where like people can join it, or like they are run through the police, where like people will like, I don't want to say reach out to them, but like kind of like be like, oh, this person's a suspected ped. Hey, look, I'm 15, want some pics?
Right.
And then if the person's like, yeah, they're like, okay, well, this person's probably a ped. We need to keep an eye on this.
Right.
You know, like, whereas if you're like, now let's meet up at the Mall of America and like have a smoothie and then like, look, it's a YouTube expose. It's like, by the time you're done, that person can countersue you for harassment, or can say they were basically entrapped, or can say it was made up, or could say it was sensationalized. You know, or any of these things.
Right.
Especially in the age of AI, they could say like, oh, well, this was fake, this was Photoshop, this was this, this was that. And if they don't actually get, you know, a subpoena or a court document order to, you know, then see those files from, say, Facebook or Discord or Instagram or Twitter, or wherever it was done from, you can very easily say like, oh, this is fake. Like, I right now could go and in 5 minutes make up like 20 inflammatory tweets that you never wrote and say you did.
Right.
Just with like Photoshop.
Yeah.
And like, it's funny to do once in a while for like, as a joke, like a parody for like a YouTube thumbnail. Like before I've had like a one where it was a joke where it was like Ubisoft saying we lied LOL or something.
Yeah.
That's like funny. But then there's also like the ability to do that and be like, hey, I'm gonna go on Nate's social media and be like, boy, I love kids. And it's like, well, this isn't funny now. This is like serious. Like, this could get someone killed, right?
Yeah.
And it also delegitimizes actual victims of that crime, where now other people aren't going to trust them. They're going to be like, oh, they're probably a liar, you know, because somebody else lied about it.
Right.
And so that's what I think is very dangerous about this stuff and these like internet sleuth investigations. And they're almost never done for good reasons. They're almost always done to be like, hey, I want clout. Hey, I want views. I want money. You know, and not, hey, I want to actually catch a bad guy.
Right.
And there's a huge difference between those motives. Because
if people actually wanted to catch bad guys, I don't think they'd try to publicize it and, you know,
well,
make a big stack. Yeah. Because there's every time you see people like this, it's always like, you know, it's always, you know, they have the big video camera set up and everything. And it's like, well, yeah, now clearly you're just, you know,
weirdo.
Yeah, like clearly you're doing this just for clout.
I accidentally missed this.
Like, you just want to get popular off this. You don't actually care at all about catching this predator. Because to me, it's like, otherwise you just catch the predator.
Well, same with the weird people who will go and they will, like, beat up the predator. And it's like, you just want to be able to beat someone up legally. But you don't want to take up boxing.
Right.
Show yourself.
I have watched you fight. I know your strength. Your skill with darkness has grown. It has become more mature. And yet why? Why do you accept the darkness, but still refuse me? You know you and I are similar. We both follow where the darkness leads. Indeed, we are the same. So why? Does some part of your heart still have a fear of the dark?
That's not it. The truth is, I just can't stand your foul stench.
You are a fool. You should know my powers well by now.
Yeah, I know. Or did you forget? I used all the power you had to give, and Sora still beat me. I'm not at all impressed with your powers.
Very well. In that case, you shall sink into the abyss!
All right. I guarantee this is going to be very challenging.
You do?
Probably.
Is it supposed to be?
Well, I don't know. It's the final boss of the game.
Jaffer! Sorry.
Okay.
I just wanted to get in the mood.
Okay, got it. Well, you got one bar down already. Oh, not that move. Guardian!
I wanted to know, you before had a list of things that annoyed you. Have you come up with anything else?
List of things that annoy me.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot of things that annoy me out there.
Oh, we know. But I accidentally wasted that spell.
Well, you have 2 bars down.
Waiting for him to do like an actual sleep.
Like a super move.
Yeah.
Let's see, off the top of my head. Yeah, there's something that annoys me.
What is it? Sorry, I'm really paying attention to this.
People who go out shopping and stuff like that in like the middle of the day.
Oh.
Didn't we just do that today?
Yeah, you and I just did that.
Yeah, but then when they do, they drive slow.
Oh, okay, so there was more to it.
Yeah. So like they go on the road and they're clogging up the highways and stuff like that.
And you wish they were clogging up you.
I wish they were clogging up me.
Yeah.
But they're driving like super slow, and it's like, really? It's like 11 o'clock in the morning. I have places to be. Why are you clogging up the highway? It's not rush hour traffic.
Well, here's what annoys me: people who work from home, but they're not working.
Yeah, that's another thing too.
At all.
Yeah, they just like quick log in or something to their computer, and then maybe move their mouse every now and then, but then they just take off.
Yeah, and they don't do anything. And then the rest of us who do work at home a lot of hours look like we're not doing anything.
Yeah.
That's why this annoys me, by the way. Like, I have a legitimate reason why. It's not because I'm like, no, the poor corporations. It's because for me, it's like, well, I work at home, at least 70 hours a week.
Right.
And it's like, I look like I don't do anything because of all these lazy people. And by the way, there's a ton of people who were just as productive working at home on their computer who are now being forced to go back to the office because of lazy dipshits who didn't want to do anything with their life.
Oh, yeah, totally.
And it's like, you just ruin this for everybody.
Yeah, because they're pieces of garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's... The work from home crowd is, like, very annoying to me. I should say some of them. Not all of them. But there are a lot of people who are work from home crowds that are... they'll complain all day of, like, oh my gosh, I just have so much work to do. And then it's like they roll out of bed at, like, 8 a.m. They, like, just
That's not that late.
They, like, sit on their... well, it is for the working, like, community.
Well, yeah, but I work all day and I get up late.
Right, but I'm saying people that go to jobs, usually those, like, start at, like, 7.
Okay, no, I know. I was just saying, I don't know if this is, like, really, like, too applicable to their work ethic.
Well,
continue.
what I'm saying is for people who, like, go into a job,
yeah.
A lot of those people, it's like, well, yeah, I had to wake up at 6 a.m., and you are rolling out of bed at 8 and you're complaining.
What about restaurant workers? They go to work at like 3 or 4.
Okay. What are we, like the internet community? Like always fighting like the one scenario that doesn't apply to my statement?
I just say that.
But wait a minute here, wait a minute. What about a nighttime facilities crew that have to go to work at 4 p.m.? What about them?
Do you not like nighttime facilities?
No, they're fine. I'm just trying
to find... It just seemed like you didn't like them.
I'm just trying to find, like, the one, like, example where it doesn't apply.
Oh, it just seemed like you were not a fan of,
I hate nighttime facilities.
Can I move, please?
But anyway, so they, like, roll out of bed, and then they're like, I just had so much work to do. And then it's like, what did you do? Well, I just wrote some emails and... check some numbers online. It's like, yeah.
Well, apparently your biggest problem is they didn't get up at 4 a.m.
Every time someone makes like a point online, someone always has to be like, well, but wait a minute here, what about, and they come up with like the most niche example ever.
So was yours. Your example was only for very specific people who have to get up early for their job. Yours is just as niche.
That's literally like 90% of the work population.
I wouldn't say that. I would
Most people like jobs or, okay, well, businesses usually start work at the latest 9. Like 9 to 5 is kind of like the normal job. But some people start at 8 or 7 or whatnot.
You're lucky to get off by 5 now.
Well, I get off by 5 all the time.
I get off directly at 5.
Right. But yeah, that's what I'm saying, is like a lot of people that go into work for the day, it usually starts between 7 and 9 is when they usually start.
And what about people who don't have driver's licenses?
That's a great point, actually. My whole case debunked.
What about people who are too young to work?
That's a good point, too.
Yeah, what about children?
Babies? What about babies? What about retired people? They don't go to work by 9.
I feel like you're just triggered because we, like, defeated you like the liberal you are.
What about your mom, Nate?
Yeah, what about your mom?
What about my mom?
Didn't she, like, get fired?
No, she works from home.
Oh, I thought she got, like, fired.
She starts work at 8.
Well, how dare she roll out of bed at 8?
Actually, she gets out of bed at like 7:45.
Okay, so
no,
then she's
sometimes
not.
we're not done at that point.
Oh, okay, sorry. Hey, you got a darkness now.
What did you just call me?
Yeah, what did you just say to me?
I said you're a darkness now. Is there a problem with that?
Should they recast Agatha Harkness?
To Agatha Darkness?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Do you think it would be racist if they chose a particular woman of a particular race? to
Native
play that
American.
role? Yeah.
Like, I don't know, just as an example, maybe, I don't know.
African American.
Yeah, maybe, right, yeah.
Here, are you glad that we've gone so far back around on, like, hatred
Yes, but please continue.
of different people that now we're, like, at the point where it's okay to do, like, the racist World War II cartoons again because we're mad at Israel? I've seen people doing them.
Right.
Have you?
Yeah, I'm really glad we circled back to anti-Semitism.
I love it.
It's based, I guess. I don't know.
Honestly, I just love any excuse to be racist. I mean, screw Israel.
Next, we're gonna be putting them back in their own little community.
Okay, alright.
Like, you remember how England did that, where they'd have, like, a district, and it would be the Jew district?
Oh yeah, during, like, Sherlock Holmes, the Sherlock Holmes game. We're not a high enough level.
I like the Jew district.
That's what they called it in the game.
They call it
literally
the
said
Jew
that.
district?
Yeah, they literally
What?
did.
What in the
It
world?
wasn't even the Jewish district. They were like, all right, now you have to head back down to the Jew district. It's like, okay.
Be careful, us whiteys aren't welcome there, usually.
What is the point of that?
I like the Jew district.
That's what they called it!
I think if we level up one more time, or when we do, I should say, we should get health.
Yep, I agree.
None of this, like, double penetration points.
Yeah, no, that Sherlock Holmes game was wild. Like, with its,
I highly recommend it to anybody who likes mystery games.
Okay. I highly
Very
recommend
good
it to
game.
anyone who believes that Jewish people should be in their own district. Perfect game for you.
It's a good game!
Apparently the English agreed.
Sherlock versus Jack the Ripper. Very good.
Sherlock Holmes versus Jack the Ripper, Jill.
Is
I'm sure we
Sherlock
can all
Holmes...
figure out what his last name was.
Is he racist in that game?
He should be.
I
Okay,
would say
I'm buying it.
I'd say he's not, but
Oh.
I would say the people around him all are.
Oh,
Yeah.
got
So
it.
he's a
okay.
progressive hero.
Got it.
Watson slightly is.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is.
What?
Whenever he says to Sherlock, "Are you sure you want to go there?"
Wait, was that about the Jewish district?
I think it might have been.
Jeez.
He's like, I heard they run the banks pretty meanly over
Wow,
there.
what are you, J.K. Rowling with the goblins?
Yeah. Every time I think of Jews, I think of goblins.
Well, that's what the
That's-
internet does.
I know, that's what the internet does.
The airport.
The internet. They're like, who are these goblin creatures? Jews!
Well, what about people that hang out at libraries? They're not the internet.
What are you saying about me? I hang out at the libraries.
But you're not the internet.
Most people that go to libraries are the internet.
What about people who aren't people?
Got it. Okay, got it.
My favorite.
Jeez, are you okay? You need another room here.
I just swallowed incorrectly.
My favorite thing about
Oh.
anti-Semitism is the fact that
Whoa.
J.K. Rowling, she never said anything about the goblins in Harry Potter being an allegory for Jews.
Or anything.
But
or being an allegory for anything at all.
But
Right.
these super racist people were like, oh, they have big noses and they like money. They must be an allegory for Jews.
Yeah, I know,
it's
it's
like
like
the
such a
wildest thing
self-report.
ever. Like,
So many people self-report on that stuff all the time.
it's like you are just making a problem here where there isn't any.
I like the idea. I know, it's almost like you're like, yeah, I want to make a movie about criminals, and they're like, oh, I see, you want to make a movie about minorities. And you're like, no.
It's like what?
What?
Yeah, it's like the weirdest thing ever to me.
Well, it's...
And then the part that's weirder to me is these people don't understand how that's racist.
like, they don't understand that what they're doing is bad.
Yeah, they're just like, you know, it's like, well, look at me, I'm the hero because I'm pointing out J.K. Rowling's for being racist. I'm like, no, you're the one that projected the racism on this thing.
Yeah, you fed into the stereotype.
Like J.K. Rowling's was like, you just hate J.K. Rowling's because she said some off-color comment about trans people. So stop trying to like make her something she's not.
That is like this, that is like this tweet I saw the other day that I retweeted making fun of the person because I'm a bully. And it was about, let's see here.
Well, to be fair, have trans people considered not being so bullyable?
Jill, you're gonna have to
Whoa,
cut that
Jill.
out.
It
Can you
was a
stop?
joke. I was just
Oh my
kidding.
God.
Jill, can you pay attention to your game?
Like, wow.
Unless you
I
really...
was only kidding. I didn't mean it.
Well, the internet doesn't like jokes.
I know, Jill, but don't you want to pay attention to your game?
I am.
Doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, I'm playing Dreamlight Valley.
Yeah, okay. Jill,
I'm hanging out with Gaston.
remember you were gonna do your art.
I was?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's like this thing that I saw that I made fun of the person on. And so Jack's Films, you know who he is? You
I
probably
heard the
don't
name.
because you don't watch anything on YouTube ever.
Okay.
But Jack's Films is like just a big YouTuber.
Okay.
That's it. Well,
Okay.
he made a video where he was exaggerating every trait of Dr. House. Do you know who Dr. House is, or do you have no idea who he is from the show?
From the show House?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
that
I
is.
didn't know. I didn't know if you
No,
owned
I
a TV.
I know that is.
Okay. Well,
Do I own a TV? I do own a TV, yes. Kind of
But
shocking.
do you own cable?
No. I have the better option, streaming.
Oh, okay.
I pay like $500 a month for streaming, and it's amazing.
That's pretty average.
But I just ended cable.
so this person made a joke, like Jack's Films, where they were exaggerating every trait of Dr. House, and it included his limp.
Okay.
So they were exaggerating him walking around. They were exaggerating him taking his pills. So he took like a whole bottle of pills,
Jeez.
like down the whole thing at once. They were exaggerating his dialogue. So everything, right?
Okay.
And this person was like, doesn't this scream casual ableism to you guys? Because he was exaggerating the limp. And I am not kidding when I say every person in the world came out to mock this person's tweet. And it was pretty funny.
I like... We're just inventing terms now. Casual ableism. What does that even mean?
I don't know, but there were like 500 people. I'm not kidding, like 500 quote tweets of people mocking this person.
Good.
And I tweeted, I said, Hugh Laurie, the actor who played House, must also be ableist since they didn't forcibly beat his leg in before allowing him to play the role. I mean, like, isn't he just being transabled there?
That- yeah.
Where he's like stealing
Yeah.
he's stealing a role from someone with a limp.
Oh, it's like stolen valor, but for ableist people.
You're gonna die if you don't heal.
Okay.
I like for ableist people.
That's my other favorite thing, though, is when they're like, this role of a Down syndrome war veteran from Iraq who also was divorced and also is black. wasn't played by someone who went through every single one of those life experiences. They stole that role from someone who went through all those life experiences, who should have that role. It's like, yeah, did
Well, it's
they?
like-
Or is it acting, you fucking idiot?
Well, it's also like that one unhinged tweet. I don't know if you remember
Bring
from
back
our...
abortion.
It's still here. Like,
Bobby!
I'm just saying for that person who says that,
You
let's...
told me I have to cut out my stuff, and then you say things like this?
That's not that bad compared to what you said.
I was making a joke. You were serious.
No,
it's
I
like
was...
that. It's like that one comment. Remember from our Elden Ring Let's Play a while ago, where I said,
I don't remember anything before yesterday.
Okay, sorry. Well, in our Elden Ring Let's Play from a while ago, I read you a story of that McDonald's jerk sandwich. Do you remember that?
Yeah, are you wanting me to try this again? The
Yeah,
fight?
I leveled up one more time. And people were getting really angry about it, saying like, well, this is stealing jobs from Jamaican people. Jamaican people are an oppressed group, and they could be making their own cultural sandwich. And I'm like, we are at McDonald's. It is a sandwich. Settle down.
Well, then shouldn't Hawaiian people be making their own fish sandwich instead of McDonald's selling a fish sandwich?
Yeah, right.
Well, I
Or what about German people, since they invented the hamburger? Should they not be allowed to sell hamburgers now at McDonald's?
that's like I saw Simu...
Did Germans...
What?
Did Germans invent the hamburger?
Yeah, there was a guy whose last name was like
John Hamburger?
Burger or something.
I thought it was developed in Hamburg.
Was it like Adolf Hamburger?
It had something to do with Germany.
Adolf Hamburglar? Okay, so... Okay, I keep doing that. I was gonna say that, that's like... I saw Simu Liu, the guy who played
Oh, boy.
Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
Who was like the biggest, like...
Very woke.
Yeah, but like, so far back around woke that it's like not progressive, it's just weird.
Yeah.
You know, and like not making a point. He was on one of those shows that's kind of like the Shark Tank show,
Oh, yeah.
but like for food.
Right.
And he was like mad at this person that they didn't credit. I don't remember where it was, like Thailand or something, for boba tea.
What the heck?
I don't remember where it was.
What
And to
in
be
the
honest, I
world?
don't care who came up with boba tea.
I thought that was a Japanese thing for some reason.
I don't know
I think
where
it's
it was.
Korean.
Oh,
You
it could
can
be.
let us know in the comments who made boba tea, because I probably will not remember to look it up. But anyway, he was like angry that they didn't credit them, and he's like, "This is part of our cultural heritage." And I remember looking it up at the time because I read a YouTube comment that was like, "Did you know this was invented like less than 200 years ago? Whose cultural heritage is this part of?"
Yeah.
Like boba tea. Like this is new.
Yeah.
Like this is a new creation
Yeah.
in terms of history. Like no one is basing their cultural heritage off of this creation from like 150 years ago max.
Also,
Boba
every
tea? Is that bubble tea?
Yeah.
I think so. Well, look up
It originated in Taiwan
Taiwan. Okay.
in the early 1980s.
Okay, there you go.
And then Taiwanese immigrants brought it to the U.S. in the 1990s, initially in California.
Okay, so look up Simu Liu bubble tea or something.
Should I be crediting the guy who made peanut butter every time I use peanut butter?
Yeah,
in a
Booker
dish?
T. Washington.
Yeah.
No, it was George Washington.
George Washington Carver, was it?
Yeah, George Washington Carver.
He actually, that's a misconception. He did make a bunch of peanut products, but he did not invent peanut butter.
Oh yeah, that's right. Some other dude made peanut butter.
Who invented peanut butter? Oh, John Kellogg.
Jon Snow.
John Harvey Kellogg
Well,
is
I'm gonna start
credited.
crediting John Kellogg every time I use peanut butter in a dish, since apparently you have to credit people who came up with something before you now.
You do.
For food, specifically.
Let's see.
Okay. What am I supposed to do here?
I don't know.
This makes that fight against that like little bookworm nerd look like a walk in the park.
Shout out to the chickens for inventing chicken nuggets.
Boba tea startup rejected by Shark Tank pitches Simu Liu after cultural appropriation debate. Is that the one?
Yeah. I feel like cultural appropriation should only be something that comes up when you are mocking a culture.
Yeah.
Because, like, for me, something that's really interesting is how white people helped spread cotton-based clothing
Right.
so far. But, you know, I see a lot of non-whites wearing my clothes.
yeah,
Some of
well,
those people remind me of one of the middle names of George R.R. Martin.
Rancid?
One of them.
Rambunctious?
Possibly.
racist? Oh, I mean,
That
sorry.
one.
Regal?
Regal?
We are not a high enough level, I'm just telling you right now.
What do we need to be higher? Like 3?
I don't know. I really don't know. I can't do it like this. I don't have enough health and I don't do enough damage. And, like, I can't get in dark mode often enough to do enough damage, so I need more base damage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just the attack damage for attack cards.
Quote from Simu Liu, I would be uplifting a business that is profiting off of something that feels so dear to my cultural heritage.
His cultural heritage from 30 years ago? Or, sorry, 45 years ago?
He also pointed out...
dear?
He also pointed out there is nothing on their packaging that acknowledged boba's cultural roots in Taiwan.
So, do you think that the boba place in one of the cities here, do you think that they have to credit Taiwan for making a boba tea business?
I guarantee they don't.
Because I don't think they do either.
You know, this, like, the cultural appropriation thing makes me kind of concerned that you think that's the only thing your culture provided. Like, to me it comes off like, I feel like we've provided so little that we have to cling on to every tiny little thing we did and get credit for it.
Well,
You notice
and
white
also...
people don't care?
And also the other thing, too. The other thing, too, is, like... Again, unless you're making fun of something, isn't the point of inventions for people to use it?
Only when it's the right kind of people.
So, like, if I invent, you know, let's say some new form of, I don't know, coffee, like I'm Ezio here.
Wasn't that hot chocolate?
No, it's coffee
Oh.
that he invented. If I invent some, like, new form of coffee, what's the point of inventing the coffee if it's like, this is only for white people?
Well, yeah.
Like, what? Why? What? Like,
Well,
no
that just
one,
says you're a dick.
literally nobody, no inventor in history, I should say, most inventors, I'm sure someone will point out the one person that did.
Yeah, what about me?
Most
sorry.
most inventors in history do not do this. They invent stuff for the human population to use.
Right.
You know, so it's like,
Except for Jill.
well, yeah. So, I don't know, it's like, again, unless you're making fun of something, like if I put on, like, a sombrero and start, like, making fun of, like, Mexican people or something, okay,
but are you being funny while doing it? Like,
Yes, if I am being funny, then it's okay. If I'm not, then it's racist.
Okay, good.
But, like, that I could see as cultural appropriation or racism or whatever you want to call it. But, like, if I'm just eating, like, a taco, it's not like it's like, oh my gosh, well, you didn't give credit to all the Mexican and Spanish people that invented tacos. How dare you eat that? It's like, dude, we're just, like, making a taco here.
Well,
What do
then
you-
how come you didn't give credit?
What do you think about my idea of forcibly drafting them into a war so they have something real to worry about? The people who bring this stuff
I
up.
like it, yeah. I love that idea.
Just an idea.
It's a great idea.
Well, maybe we'd stop hearing so many dumb complaints.
I know. It's like, your life must be really good if this is what you're complaining about.
It is. Dude, so many people have it so easy, but they think they have it hard.
I know. It's like, well, you can't make that boba tea because you didn't write on there that originated Taiwan.
Meanwhile, there's like a homeless guy who's like scraping together his next meal out back behind the Shark Tank studio or something.
Please, let me have a piece of the boba.
No, they didn't credit Taiwan on it. You don't want it.
Please.
This is not worth your time.
You should starve instead of having this non-credited tea.
Taiwan has a rich heritage. We need the boba tea on there. Everyone needs to know who made this while they're drinking it because we cannot have a population of someone who's interested. They can't just pull up their phone and look it up.
Yeah, see,
We need to know about it on the packaging.
after that, which no one's gonna read.
Literally, no one cares.
After that, I kind of was like, I don't think I'm gonna pay to see another Shang-Chi movie if he even gets one.
Right.
Because he just seems like such a dipshit.
Well, he's just mean to everybody for no damn reason.
Kind of like when he compared being homosexual to being a pedophile. Did you see this?
No, wait, what?
Look this up. Look up Simu Liu,
Oh no.
homosexual pedophile. That sounds terrible. But he made like comments on Reddit from like his old account, like saying like, well, you know, it's kind of like being born gay. Like they can't help it, like that kind of thing. And it's like, bro, like I get the point you're trying to make of like there being a genetic factor.
Yeah.
But like this is not the way to say this, especially coming from someone who's like going to go on later to bitch about cultural appropriation on tea.
Right.
And you're saying that way? Like, come on.
Was he saying all gay people are pedophiles, or
No.
was he saying all pedophiles
Not all.
are gay?
No, neither, Jill.
Well,
Do you not know how to listen?
He should have been saying one or the other.
Why should he even take a
Well, like,
stand,
come
man?
on.
I don't understand why he wouldn't have an opinion.
At least stand by your beliefs. No, he was saying, like, did you find it? He was basically saying something along the lines of, like, well, we shouldn't just condemn peds for being born that way. We should, like, get them help because it's like how people are born gay, you know, like they can't stop being born that way.
Hey, his comment is literally...
Listen to Nate. Instead.
His comment here is, hey, I'm a Canadian actor and I thought I'd chime in, so we have like the credentialism already.
What is that? What does that have to do with anything?
Like, guys, listen up. I'm a Canadian actor,
so I'm an expert on pedophiles and gay people.
And he literally went to say, I recently did a show in which I played a pedophile. And did a significant amount of research, clinical studies.
What kind of research?
He says clinical studies, mind you, not the method stuff.
Whoa!
Wait, did he actually say that?
It's like, now hold on, guys. I'm a Canadian actor, and I've done a lot of research into pedophiles, because I actually was playing one on TV, so I had to do a lot of research.
I like the idea that he method acted a pedophile.
Did he really say not the method stuff?
And they said, I did a lot of research on the disorder, and how it's perceived in the media. In the end, the role completely changed the way I look at pedophilia, and has made me more sympathetic to anyone who is born with those urges. From a biological standpoint, it's no different than being gay. A small mutation in the genome that defines our sexual preferences, depending on what area of the world you're born in and what time, it might also have been a perfectly acceptable thing to act on those urges.
Well, okay, acceptable doesn't mean morally right.
Now, we
sure.
all know taking advantage of minors is wrong, disgusting,
Do we?
and vile.
It doesn't sound like you know that.
But with the exception of Germany, we are going about it completely the wrong way. What's with Germany? It's like...
I like the idea that he's like, they've set up camps.
Unless you're in Germany, we're going about this the wrong way.
They've set up really fun summer camps for these people.
It's like... we having learned anything by studying homosexuality.
I think it means haven't.
We are talking about exploring the same cures to pedophilia as we were about homosexuality 20 years ago.
There's so many things I could say on that, but I feel like it would take me so long
Yeah,
to touch upon every single thing he said there that I'm just going to leave it be.
One of the reasons why Jill can't say all of it is because she's been working on the cure.
Oh, for gay people or pedophilia?
Yeah. No, the one's fine, but the other one. I won't tell you which is which.
Oh, got it. I'm like, no, one of them is fine, but
you guys.
The other one, yeah.
I like, and depending on like history, if I wanted to marry like a 12-year-old, like it might have been fine. I don't know. Like, what is with this statement?
I was like, well, we all know, like, taking advantage of minors is wrong, unless you're in Germany. So what does that mean?
No, look, here's the thing. I am not sitting here pretending to be perfect in terms of my statements. I think I've made a lot of jokes that are probably offensive. Difference being they're jokes, not earnest. And I've probably said a lot of dumb stuff, but, like, I don't pretend to be the moral authority. You know what I mean? So what's funny to me is someone like him who's, like, gonna cancel, like, a company over their lack of crediting Boba Tea. But meanwhile, you, like, just look into his Reddit history briefly, and it's like... yeah, and by the way, like, genetically, there's no difference in being gay. It's like, okay.
Right.
Like, do you see my problem here?
Well, but I think you're also missing one important factor in this discussion.
He's Asian, so he can do whatever he wants.
Well, you're not a Canadian actor, so you don't have the credentials like he does.
That's true.
He's an authority on this subject.
But he's white adjacent, and as being more white, I think I have authority to speak over him.
Got it. Oh, yeah, that's true.
Because, like, if you are, you know, half black, I've heard that you don't have the same experience as someone who's fully black, so if they come in with their experience, you have to shut up.
Right.
As the internet would say. It's like, now hold on, you haven't experienced the same thing, be quiet.
Now hold on, we need to, like, put you through slavery so you understand what it's like.
Time for you to method act.